Okay, so again, this will just be our backup. So I press, it's the button at the bottom, right?
Yeah, it's the two circles.
Good, okay, and then now it's,
One, and shift up.
and so now that little
Now
red
it's
thing
going. Yeah,
means it's
that little red thing means.
okay, I hope you can hear me. Do you think I need to?
You don't need to hold it this.
Oh, not that close, okay, you think from here I'm good?
You're loud, you're fine.
Okay, I'm loud, okay. All right, sorry for everyone who has to watch this on YouTube later, but, okay, so we are finishing our chapter 3.5 today. We just have a couple more questions, and I forgot to tell you, but definitely get a calculator out if you don't have one. We will need one. This is the last type of solving problems today, okay? And I'm actually gonna do a little note off to the side, like right over here. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little note in like the margin of my paper. What we have been doing is we've been going from log to exponential form, right? When we've been doing log rolls, we would have like log base A of B equals X. So we're just doing something very generic, right? We'd have log base A of B equals X. When I log roll that, what do I get? Good, A to the X equals B. Cool. Okay, basically what we're doing is going backwards today. So up to this point, we either could solve it exponentially, or we could solve it logarithmically, or we would log roll. Today, we're gonna go the other way. So we're gonna go from exponential form to log. So you'll see in that first problem momentarily that we cannot solve it keeping it in exponential form. So if we can't solve it in the way it is, then we want to adjust it, we want to rearrange it so that we can solve it. So I'm going to take that exponential form. I've got A raised to the X equals B. That's an exponential form. So we want to put that into log form. Okay. I still do a log roll, but, and you can either hate this or you can like this. I use a little L to help me do my form. So I go log base A of B equals X. If you notice on the going into exponential form, I use a little cursive E to help me know I'm going into exponential form. This one I use like an L shape to help me know that I'm going into log form, okay? And so when I go into log form, the first thing I touched was the A, so I'm gonna do log base A. Next I touched B of B equals X. Do you see that's exactly where we started with earlier? We just did all of our rolling around to get into different forms. So where we're at today is we're gonna have to go into log form in order to solve. Okay, everybody good? Kids, can you not find us?
No.
We're on number 2 of 3.5, so go find 3.5. We've jumped around a little bit, and then go find number 2.
Oh.
You got it? Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's look at this first example I've got. I need to at least get the base by itself, so the number raised to the exponent needs to be alone. So what's the first thing I should do here? What? Divide by 6. Let's get rid of that 6. Divide by 6, because now I've got 2 raised to that x plus 1. That equals 3. Up to today, that number would be a number that we could rewrite as 2 raised to some power, right? I'd be, all right, 3, that's 2 to what power? Can we do 2 to some power equals 3? No. So instead, what we have to do is now we're going to log roll, okay? So I'm going to go log base 2 of 3 equals x plus 1. Log base 2 of 3 equals x plus 1. Now, we got our calculators out because I need to put that in my calculator to solve what that is, okay? Now, reminder for most of us, most of you guys can just go to math and go all the way down to the capital A that says log base. And then you can enter that in. Some of you with much older calculators, you're going to have to do log of 3 divided by log of 2. Log of 3 divided by log of 2. Those are your 2 options, either math or log base 3 divided by log base 2. And I'll go do both on my calculator. I've got math. And I come all the way down here to log base. I have log base 2 of 3. Okay. Or again, you can do log of 3 divided by log of 2. And either way, I get 1.585. We're gonna round to 4 decimal places. However, my 9 is in that fourth spot, and that 6 rounds that 9 up to a 0, which rounds the 4 up to a 5. And that's equal to x plus 1. And then we can minus 1 from both sides, and we end up getting 0.585 equals x. Okay. Wasn't too crazy, was it? Got like 6 more examples like this, so we're just gonna keep rolling with this stuff, okay? How about we look at the next one? I'll leave this up for 1 second, then we're gonna look at the next one. All right, next one, same idea over here. We've got to get the number that's being raised to the exponent by itself. So what do I need to do first? Divide by 17, good. E to the x equals 93 divided by 17, which is 5.4706. All right, I'm ready to log roll now. So when I log roll, what do I get? ln, very good. ln is log base e. So in my head, I was like, oh, log base e. Is there a reason I like can't touch that pencil sometimes? ln of 5.4706 equals x. Now, if you write log base e, that's okay. It's just redundant, right? And I like thinking immediately when I have log base e going directly to ln, because that's a button I can easily press my calculator. ln of 5.4706. And I get 1.6994 equals x. Everyone doing okay so far? All right, if you're ahead of me and you're good, go ahead and start the next one. Yeah, Millie. What I do with what?
Oh, wait. I get to ln on it.
When we do our log roll, we get log base e, and ln is just a button on your calculator. It's like right next, like it's a couple above the like on button. Go to the left column.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go to the next page. We got 4 more like it. At this point, if you're like, oh, I'm cruising, go ahead and do all 4 and then check in with me as you get them done. If you're like, I could still use a little bit of help, just kind of stay with me. We're gonna keep doing it together. Okay. So this next one, I'm on letter C. We have to solve this. So I have to get that e to the by itself. Let's do what first? Divide by 50. And I get e to the negative 0.112x equals 4. Then we're gonna log roll. What do I get when I log roll?
ln.
ln, very good. ln of
4.
good equals negative 0.112x. Now, whenever you do this part in the calculator, you're welcome to go do ln first and kind of carry that decimal through. Another thing that sometimes I do is I just get x by itself, and then I just put one thing into the calculator. So I know that I'm going to have to divide that negative 0.112 by both sides. And so now I get to the point that I've got ln of 4 divided by negative 0.112. I can put that all directly in the calculator instead of having to put like several things in the calculator. So I'm going to click ln of 4 and then close my parentheses and then divide by negative 0.112. And I get X equals negative 12.3776. You guys doing okay so far? Let's go to that next part. I've got 3 times 1.73 raised to the X equals 9.72. What do I do first? Divide by 3. So we got 1.73 raised to the X equals 3.24. And then now we log roll, right? Log base 1.73 of 3.24 equals X. Log base 1.73 of 3.24. I'm doing that so funny. Equals X. And then we can just put that right into the calculator. There's nothing else that we're gonna need to move, nothing else to get X by itself. We're just gonna go ahead and type that in. If you have to do it the long way, you're gonna do log of 3.24 divided by log of 1.73. But if you have a calculator that allows you to do the shortcut, we'll go to math, we'll scroll all the way down to A, and then we'll plug in 1.73 for my base and 3.24. So we get X equals 2.1447. Okay, we doing okay so far? All right, we got 2 more like that. And then 2 more after that. We got 4 more problems total. I'm gonna kind of do these quietly, so I think you guys know what to do. Go ahead and solve them and you can look up at the board, but I'm gonna do them silently right now. Now I will kind of pause on the one that I have currently on the board. My question to you, can I combine 2.4691 minus 1? Can I simplify that to make it a little easier for myself? Let me see why not.
Well, because they're not, you know.
They don't match, right? One of them has an ln and one of them doesn't. So even though they're next to each other, does not mean that they get to simplify. If it helps you, you can always put parentheses around what you're doing the log of, so that you know that you can't mess with that, okay? Same thing, you also cannot divide this 2.4 blah, 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 divided by 4. That's not gonna work because one you're taking the log of and one we're dividing. So make sure we kind of do those separately. And I would throw some parentheses, so ln of 2.4691, and then I'm gonna say minus 1, and then I will divide by 4. If you don't like doing all of that once, feel free to do it separately and just kind of carry that decimal through. I just think it's easy to lose a decimal if you're not careful. So I get negative 0.0240. And then again, one more, I want you to try that one mostly on your own, and if I think that there's something that you might make a mistake on, I will talk about it. Do you not get the same answer?
I did,
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I just did like. I just solved it out, I just did 0.01 minus 1, and then divided it by 4.
You're fine. All right, on this next one, I'm minus 10. 5 times 3 raised to the x equals 190, and then divide by 5. 3 raised to the x equals 38. Log roll. And that one, we don't have to do any solving once we log roll, just throw it in your calculator. This is the type of problem that these all were the same types of problems. You'll see that on your test on Thursday. They're different than the normal log rolls. They're a little bit backwards. So just want to make sure we looked at those. Now, we've done the rest of that page. So again, if you don't have that, go back and find the notes. We are going to jump to the last part of 3.5. We're not going to get into 3.6 until after the test. And on this last page, I want you to cross out G and I. We will not do those two, but we will do letter H and letter J. Okay. Could you guys physically do G and I? Yes. Do I think it's worth it? No. It's a lot of effort for honestly not a lot of return. It's just not that A, fun of a problem, or B, that realistic that you'll ever see again. So we're just gonna ignore those, okay? However, H and I we can definitely do. Do you guys remember what kind of function this is? 400 over 1 plus 95e raised to the negative point. Did you say? Not exponential. What'd you say? Give me more than just that. That's the first part.
Like
Logistic. There you go. It's easy to think logarithm, so I just wanted to make sure we knew it's logistic. So these are logistic functions. Yelling now? Somebody's yelling. All right, so these are logistic problems. All we're gonna do is solve for X. You guys have solved logistic problems truly in a harder way before. All we're gonna do here is we are going to treat this as 150 over 1. We're gonna cross multiply. And we're gonna solve for X, okay? I get 150 times 1 plus 95 e to that negative 0.06, negative 0.6x is going to be equal to 400. You could distribute that 150 in, but I think it's going to be easier to just divide it off right now. So I'm going to divide off that 150. 1 plus 95 e to the negative 0.6x equals 2.6667. This kind of looks like one of the problems we were just doing, doesn't it? I still want to get that number that's being raised to that exponent all by itself. So I'm trying to get that e to that power all alone. So I first want to minus off that 1, and then we'll divide off that 95. And so then we end with e to the negative 0.6x equals 0.0175. And this looks like we were just practicing, right? When I start simplifying or when I log roll, what do I get? Of that decimal, good, equals. Good. ln of that decimal of 0.0175 is equal to negative 0.6x. And again, at this point, you can either do that ln of the decimal and then divide it by negative 0.6, but I'm going to divide by negative 0.6 from both sides now, and I'm going to simplify that. I'm going to put that all in my calculator. So I get 6.7426. So we solved that just like we have been practicing. We just started a little bit different with a few more things. All right, we got one more like that. Do you think you can try that on your own? I'm gonna go through it, but I'm gonna be a little quieter, okay? So make sure that we cross multiply, make sure you get that E to the exponent by itself and then log roll. Go to my calculator, and here's that last problem. Let me know if you guys have any questions, disagreements, concerns.
Why? Would we get 1.5 after?
Oh, why did do I have 24? That's weird. 1.5. And then divide that by 25, what'd you get there?
I got
0.06. Does that look better, everybody? I saw a couple kind of confused ones. I'm so sorry, I caught myself yesterday on that and I did not catch myself today. Look a little bit better. -9.3780. Okay. All right, that's all I want to learn today. That's all I want to teach you guys today. And that's all we're gonna learn before our test, which is on Thursday. So the rest of class is yours to either work on homework, work on one or all of the reviews that I gave you. I can stop recording now. We'll find out later if that worked. The one thing I do want to remind you is if you wanted to do a retake of that last test, and you didn't get a review, make sure that you get one, and that needs to be done by Friday, morning. So we'll all have office hours on the day that's Christmas on the Hill, so come in by then if you want to do that. If you want to take it before, I totally understand. I know that we have another test this week. I would maybe do it on Friday morning, just so you can study fully for this chapter 3 test and then do this, but. Just wanted you to know, you need this, if you take it. Is there anything else for the good of the group? No? Okay, should we turn the lights back on, or are they good off? No. What a crazy question, okay? All right, go ahead and get to work, find either your homework or a study guide, and I'm here to help you, and it's just your time to do what is helpful to you.
Hey,
Yeah.